Nothing exposes the gaps in postpartum weight loss advice like bounce back culture. The pressure hits immediately, the support disappears overnight, and somehow you're expected to have it all figured out on your own. This is Nourished Mamas, the postpartum weight loss podcast, and I'm Mallory, a registered dietitian, weight loss coach, and mom who knows how disorienting this season can feel. Postpartum brings a whole new set of challenges no one prepares you for. The cravings that hit out of nowhere, the mom brain that makes everything take twice as long, the afternoons that feel impossible to push through, and the pressure to bounce back when you're just trying to get through the day. Here, we talk honestly about what's going on behind all of that, in a way that actually makes sense, and I'll walk you through simple, realistic changes that help you feel more steady, more energized, and more confident in your body again. No extremes, no shame, and no complicated systems that you'll want to abandon within the next 2 days. Just practical support that fits into your mom life, the messy, loud, beautiful, exhausting version, not Pinterest version. If you're ready to understand what your body is doing and finally have a plan that works in this season, let's get started. To the moms out there that feel like you just can't hold it together right now, it is not because you're lazy. It is 100% because your body is running on empty. So what I want to talk about today in our episode of the Nourished Mamas podcast is how motivation really isn't the biggest issue that we run into. It's that you just don't have the energy to do what you need to do during the day. So if you feel like you have no motivation to work out, or you don't feel motivated to meal prep, and you just feel like everything is just piling up on top of you, the mental load is just getting too heavy, most of the time it has nothing to do with how motivated you are to do it, because we all know you want to and you don't want to feel buried, but it's not the motivation that's the problem. The reason why you're struggling so much is because you are not giving yourself enough food to work off of properly. And you can't expect consistency from a body that is underfed and exhausted, especially in motherhood. Gosh, it is so easy to put our kids' needs before our own. It really, really is. You make sure that they're having meals. I talk to moms all day, most days of the week, and one of the main things that comes up is you are putting yourself on the back burner. You are waiting until things calm down, which it never will. And there's just always something around the corner that's going to come up. So if you don't prioritize yourself and you don't prioritize your own health and your energy specifically, which is what we'll be talking about today, then it's going to really sabotage you. And this is not just needing to be more disciplined. The reality is most moms are skipping meals, whether it's lunch, breakfast. You're running around like, I want to say a chaotic chicken, but that sounds rude. So I will just say you're running around constantly in the morning, trying to get yourself ready, your kids ready, them off to school, whether it's drop-off, daycare, preschool, whatever that looks like. You may be going to work, you may be helping your husband get ready for work. Whatever that looks like, your needs get put on the back burner. It's consistent, and I see it all the time. And you're skipping the meals, you're running on caffeine and expecting willpower to carry you through. But most of the time, it's not going to work for long. So the patterns that I see are skipping breakfast, or you may just have some coffee. If you're really lucky, you might have coffee with some collagen powder in it. But typically, breakfast is one of them that is the most skipped. Or you may have been told through diet culture that you shouldn't eat breakfast, and that if you're not hungry first thing in the morning, just to skip it and go straight to lunch. But this really does backfire. So if you're skipping breakfast and eating very little during the day, that's going to be where 90% of your energy issues come from. We are surviving on coffee and snacks. Your kid may be a snack gremlin, but if you are also only having snacks or a couple bites of food here and there, it's going to deplete your energy. I also see moms crash in the afternoon and dread bedtime because you're trying to get through 3, 4 p.m. in the afternoon with no energy. All you want to do is take a nap. But you still have to do pickup if your kids aren't home yet, get off work, do traffic, do the commute, get home, make dinner, clean up, bath time, bedtime, and then by the time your kids are finally asleep and you're thinking about having a moment to breathe, you end up eating the pantry. You can't say I'm wrong because I've done it. And it's so easy just to stand there and look and see, like, okay, where are the sweets? Where are the chips? This is my me time after your kids go to bed, and then you end up going to bed super late. And so you think you'll start fresh tomorrow, but then it's just this repeating until something breaks the loop. So I talked with a mom recently who doesn't eat until 2 in the afternoon, and she wakes up at 6 a.m. with her kids and just gets through that rush of the morning, and then by the time the afternoon comes around, she's starving and is hitting an absolute wall. And she may be trying to be good all day and just not eat in the morning because then she feels like she's doing good, and then she ends up overeating at night. So common. And you're so drained of energy that you just don't have the willpower to deal with it. So it becomes this vicious cycle. So let's reframe it. Your energy is what will create the motivation. It is not the other way around. When I was speaking to a different mom today, I checked in. We've been working together, I think, for about 2 months now. And she told me that she doesn't even think about snacking at night when I asked her how her sweet tooth was going. And it just wasn't existent anymore. Can you imagine how freeing that would be if you didn't think about your sweet tooth anymore? And it's all because of the work that we did together. We pinpointed exactly where her energy was leaking out so that we could shift things. Now she actually has energy to go to the gym. She goes 3 to 4 times a week consistently. She feels like she can celebrate herself and her wins because she's not constantly thinking about food. It's so freeing, and so much of that has nothing to do with more willpower. It all has to do with how she's eating, especially throughout the morning, to give that control later and give that energy later. She's fueling her body, she's stabilizing her blood sugars, and this is exactly what we worked on together, to where when I checked with her today, she doesn't even think about her 3 p.m. energy crash, and her sweet tooth is gone. Like, that is what we're aiming for. The consistency does not start with willpower. It doesn't start with forcing. It starts with fueling your body and taking care of yourself. I know it's hard, but you do have to prioritize your own needs. It doesn't have to be above your kids if you can't get there, but it has to be at least on par so that you still eat a meal. The amount of times I've told women that they have permission to eat what their kids are eating, or just sit down at mealtime and not stress about what everyone else is doing, is insane. It happens at least once a week, and I talk to 30 women every single week about this exact thing. So probably more than once a week, to be honest. It comes up with most people where at some point we're getting into priorities, and I'm realizing very quickly that this is an ever-present problem, that I have fallen into this trap too, and I've paid the price for it. So I want you to know you're not failing, but you are little bit at a disadvantage if you're not eating throughout the day. Your body is underfueled, and it will tell you to eat if it is not getting enough. It will force it by making you overeat at night and crave food that is very, very full of calories. So sweets, chips, crunchy things. It will force the issue if you are not eating enough. And a huge part of this is from being in survival mode. We can't keep it up. It throws your hormones out of whack. You end up with high cortisol, where you are just so stressed for so long that your body doesn't feel safe enough. If you're trying to lose weight and your stress levels are through the roof because you can't feel in control around food, then that's gonna be a problem. It's gonna make it so much harder for you. And a huge part of this is that when you have the energy from eating consistently, it makes the discipline possible. It makes it so much easier to show up for yourself. So I want you to send me a message if you feel like this is you and I'm describing your life. Send me a message over on Instagram. I want to hear about what you're struggling with. It's one of my favorite things to really dig in, figure out what the struggle is and where we can change your life. Because it really does make that huge, huge difference if you know exactly what is causing your energy to crash. So you can send me a message with any questions. I'd love to talk about your goals. You can also just DM me the word mini, and I will send over my 6-minute training that walks you through exactly what we're talking about here so that you can start fixing your energy without overcomplicating the food. So what I want you to take away is that if you are not eating enough, your energy will be low and you will not be able to stay consistent with your goals. It's just not possible. So we need to fix your energy first, and then everything else will get easier. You'll feel better. The weight will start coming off. You'll be able to go to the gym. You don't need discipline. You just need the support. And I am absolutely here for you. So send me a message and I will talk to you next week.